Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by Freeze Heating and Air, IP Casino Resort Spa, the Enville Orthopedic Specialists, the Trenchard Scholarship Fund, and Butch Osterlich.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across our region, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we've got a return guest, Mr. David Wilson. I just say he's a jiu-jitsu guy in Van Cleve, and I know when Derek texted me a few weeks ago and he asked me if I knew you, I said, well, of course I know David. I think David's probably gone around, and we were talking about that. You've knocked on a lot of doors, and you know what we're hoping to do in this segment, and we'll have Derek on the next segment, is talk a little bit about what you're doing and really how the community can help support this. And I think that that's important to do. I know that you're very passionate about what you're doing, and it's sort of a grassroots idea that you've taken on, but at some point you want to grow it too. So why don't we start with that? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you involved in this.
Sure. Well, thank you, Todd. So I am a disabled Air Force veteran, and I was in a near fatal motorcycle accident in 1992 when I was stationed at Keesler. And I was virtually bedridden for about 10 years, and I began learning traditional jiu-jitsu. Actually, my wife got me into it, but I started learning it for my own personal rehabilitation, physical and mental. And I've been doing it now for over 25 years, and it has been so beneficial to me for giving me self-confidence, self-discipline. It has brought my body back to a level where I feel I can function quite well, even after 27 surgeries. So that was what caused me to want to form a nonprofit so that we could give back to the community and share some of the benefits that I've gotten personally. And so over the past 6 years, we've been an official nonprofit. We've helped hundreds of people, some of them with physical disabilities, some of them with emotional anxiety disorders, a lot of military, a lot of law enforcement and first responders, and it has been very, very beneficial to a lot of people.
Now, located up in Van Cleve, I know the town fairly well. I went to Home of Grace there, 28 years ago, and it's changed a little bit.
It has.
But you're going up, 57, and then?
Right. So if you go up 57 from I-10, obviously they're doing a little bit of work right now with the bypass. But if you come back down 57 after you enter Van Cleve, you'll hit Gaucher Van Cleve Road. We're a mile south of where that is right now. And I built my own dojo, 2,400 square feet, right next to my own house. That was the only way that we could function effectively as a nonprofit, because I didn't have to go and pay rent to someplace else every single month. And that's been a journey all to itself, but now we have a gorgeous facility. It's got mats and great air conditioning and wonderful lighting and gorgeous bathroom, exercise equipment, massage chair. We've got an Oculus 3 that sometimes the people come in and use for VR to help them with anxiety or balance issues. It's a very full-featured program.
Now, I think we were talking the other day on the phone. That's right by the flower shop, and
Yes.
Of course, flower shop's up there on that.
Correct.
On that stretch coming in. There's multiple ways to get there if you want to go up to 61 and come on up.
Correct.
But that's part of what we've done for all these years is connect the dots in our community. And I was talking about Kelly and Adam Dial, that have the barn right up in there, and
Right.
Cheryl Locke, I think, is running the flower shop. But
Yep.
That sort of gives everybody that's watching the show a general idea where you're at. How are you trying to get out information about it? Through just word of mouth, or?
We have a pretty robust social media presence. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nextdoor. We try to advertise on Mondays. We don't have a lot of money to spend on advertising, so I tend to take the free route. We'll post in the various Van Cleve groups, Ocean Springs groups, Gaucher groups, Jackson County groups, so that people know that we're there. And I always try to use an element of humor with my posts, because I think that it grabs people more. And you know, anybody can just say, yeah, we roll around on the ground, and we're more about that.
So when you're talking about the vet population here on the coast, it's pretty evenly dispersed.
It is, yeah. It tends to be clustered around bases, because then the vets can have base access for medical and commissary privileges. So you see a lot more in Biloxi. You see some in Gulfport because of the CB base. You see a little bit in Pascagoula because of the Coast Guard, but it tends to be clustered more around Biloxi.
Now, you're running on a budget where you really, in order to grow it, you've got to, you know, add an influx of money or not spend as much money. So if you're already not spending a lot of money, then you just have to raise some more money. And, you know, again, one of the ways to do that is to connect the dots with people in the community and get out in front of, I was telling you, like Rotary groups, or that always helps, meeting people like Derek that, you know, may pick up a phone and call me, or, you know, and just it's a lot of elbow grease to get something going, but the benefits of it, I know you've seen, and I'm sure the ones that stick it out. Now, some are going to give it one day and that's it.
They do. Once they realize that jiu-jitsu is painful, difficult, and frustrating, they tend to go find another hobby that's easier to master. But the ones that stick with it have seen tremendous growth and benefit out of it. And I can touch base on your statement about the funding. February of last year, up until that point, all our classes were completely free for donations only, and it got to the point where we weren't meeting even our most basic of bills. So we instituted a very low fee for classes. It's only $60 a month, which is anywhere from a half to a fifth of what other places are charging. And we even have discounts for extra family members and other things. But what we did was we created a scholarship program, and it's an official program that allows businesses or individuals to donate on a monthly basis that will essentially be sponsoring somebody else who could attend classes and not have to be able to have to pay for it. And we've had some success with that. I would like eventually for a quarter of our overhead to be covered by student fees, roughly half of it to come from partnerships with local businesses, and then the other quarter to come from fundraising and grants.
Okay, now we're going to go to a commercial break here. Derek Bodart's going to come on, and Derek's been a great supporter since he's gotten to the community and what he does, you know, with glasses, with the VA system, and you know, very passionate guy about his community and stuff. And I think that's important, that you know, it's not just an idea. There's people that see the benefits of this, and so we're going to have him on. Before we go to the commercial break, how do they get in touch with you? Okay,
so you can either look for us on Facebook. It's Haiwashin Kai Jiu-Jitsu, HEIWASHINKAI. We're also on Google. If you check for martial arts near me or jiu-jitsu near me, it may pop up. And do you think it's appropriate to give a phone number on the?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, my phone number, my personal cell is 225-205-2224, and you can hit me up anytime.
And you put it in David Wilson Van Cleve, and there it popped up. I just did it.
Yep.
So we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be joined by Derek Bodart. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're now joined by our good friend Derek Bodart. And Derek, you always lighten up the room. Enjoy seeing you. First time I met you, you were, I think it was at the Grand Magnolia. You'd come over there at a chamber event or something. I know what it was. It was for Sheriff Ezell, I think. I think we were doing something.
One of those, but I was in the neighborhood, so I figured I'd just pop in here and see how you're doing and everything.
Well, so, but appreciate you coming on. And you texted me about a couple months ago, and David and I had met a couple years ago, and I think you said that you were very interested in how, what can we do to help? And my mind immediately starts, well, let's just talk. I mean, let's talk about it and get a game plan from that. What impressed you about what he's doing to make you do that?
Well, it's a veteran-oriented place that veterans can go and get help for their PTSD and learn jiu-jitsu and all that kind of goes together. But our missions kind of melt together with that. Me being a veteran myself, and I hire veterans, and we make glasses for the VA hospital. I try to lift all those folks up because, so specifically, I have a program that we do at Superior that if we have a veteran and he's having a bad day, he or she's having a bad day, we know to look for that. And once we find one, and if we ask them how everything's going, and if it's not good, I have a relationship with the VFW, the American Legion, the VA hospital, and I now have a relationship with him. So we call it, have them people come in to help, get them off, make their lives better, and go past the PTSD part of this. And I think he's got a good organization that could really help that out. So we can work together to do that.
I know, David, when we were talking, just hearing you talk, it seemed like the idea of scholarship was really the way to address this, to try to find monies that maybe could scholarship those people that the monies you had been using on that could be used in something else to, help your program expand.
Right.
And so, at $60 a person, is that, when you're saying that, is that for per lesson, per week?
Per month.
Okay, so per month.
Yes.
So $720 for a year, and most of the most people that are disabled are probably not going to have that kind of money. That's almost like at the Home of Grace. Every call I get, he needs treatment, but they have no money. Well, if they had money, they'd still be out.
Right.
But it becomes it's an issue that you don't want to talk about, but you have to talk about. I mean, I've made a career out of talking about it.
Right.
You just got to figure out a solution to do that. So, I think maybe making up some like a certain amount. $1,000 gets this. $500 gets this.
Right.
It's basically what United Ways do. I mean, you give a certain amount of money, it's going to go towards this, and you got to have that.
Right. We have individual projects, like we need a new driveway parking lot because I have wheelchair veterans that come in every once in a while, and right now it's gravel. They have a very difficult time making it into the building. So we've tried to apply for a couple of grants to cover that. There's always improvements that we could put in, like red light therapy or sauna. I've got room that I could put in something like that if I had a grant that would cover that, or a business that was willing to take that on in exchange for a tax deduction. All of this, since we're a 501c3, of course, is tax deductible donations, whether it's for an individual project that needs to be done or to support one or more people in the scholarship program.
Now, I think, told me one time you do some work with the Sheriff's Department or with law enforcement.
I have had, and I continue to have, students that are members that are in Jackson County or Gaucher, or I've had students that were in Pascagoula. They're members of these law enforcement organizations. We don't have any official relationship with the departments because they tend to have their own training that they like to do, but I'm still very open to the idea of official partnerships with them, because the jiu-jitsu that we teach is very similar to what they would learn in their academy, but then never get a chance to practice again And if you don't practice it, the chances of having that skill when you need it are much lower.
Derek, in that area, because your business is located generally in that area, so that's the unincorporated area. They don't have council or like a mayor system or anything like that. So usually that's what we do. We pick up the phone and call the councilman and say, hey, you know, we have this, can you help us? Because that's, you know, part of what they do. But there are some, you know, I'm just thinking up and down that road, we got some pretty wealthy people living right in that area. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of those big trucks, maybe we can get them to detour one of those trucks for your driveway.
Right.
And that's, you know, we've done that for many years at the Home of Grace. And, you know, of course you got to get code and all that, but, you know, still, there's a lot of things out there, and when that project's over, there's still going to be a lot of stuff out there.
Right.
That might be on the thing to get on now. Like when this is finished, do you think we might get an audience, you know, with...
Yeah, I think it's one thing trying to do is get him out there, let people know what he does. If they don't know what he does, nobody can help him in an organization. So let's get him out there and get some help.
I think that and I certainly need to come out, and I've had to have driven by this 100 times, well, 1,000,000 times. I mean, I go up and down that road all the time.
The facility, it's a really good facility. It's nice. It's pretty big, and it's clean, and it's got all the equipment that you need. So he's got it set up pretty nice.
You you know, you said just the you know, the physical improvement, you know, by staying with anything as you get older, but it also is very spiritual. It's very, I mean, it all works hand in hand. It's a holistic approach, and you know, the person has more confidence. The person has more, you know, the mental illness, which we're now starting to understand a little bit more of just how serious it is. You know, for years it was just.
A lot of anxiety disorders tend to come from a lack of agency. When we feel like we have been deprived of the ability to make meaningful changes in our lives and have an effect on ourselves and the people that we care about, that's when the pressures of life tend to start crushing us down. And Jiu-Jitsu gives you agency. It gives you an understanding that you can handle yourself in any given situation. It gives you that confidence when you can walk into a room and know that you've got this handled. Anxiety just drops tremendously after that.
I certainly, I think that would be something that we need to do, and Derek hold me to that. You know, we both need to hold each other, you know, accountable. I don't get started anything that I don't. You just got to keep me in one direction, because I'm like going all over the place. And Derek, your commitment to, you know, veterans is, you know, so much appreciated. And you know, I know that you know, when you first got in here, you were just very passionate about that. That was going to be, and I love
what they go through. I've seen it, and I've had friends that went through it, and it's not been good sometimes.
Giving people a hand up. I mean, you know, like you said, that right there, right when you said that, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for, you know, the president of M&M Bank saying, "Who wants your work?" I said, "Me." Had a long time ago, but you know, that's what we need, and we need people to understand that you know, veterans are. As I get older, and you know, I'm flying my Marine Corps flag at my house, and I mean, in fact, every time LSU loses somebody, I throw that flag away and put up a Marine Corps flag. But you know, that's probably the top thing on my bio. You know, United States Marine Corps veteran, and you can't take that away.
No.
So that's
for sure.
Now we're gonna certainly try to get you back, and we certainly want to get you back. We're gonna come out there and see it. One more time, phone number. Give us that phone number. Don't worry about your personal number. I've had mine out there for 20-something years.
Right. Yeah, my phone number is 225-205-2224, and you're welcome to reach out to me. You know, any questions you got, or if you want to help us out, that'd be wonderful.
Okay. Well, appreciate y'all coming on, gentlemen. And
Thanks
Derek, we're going to have you stick around and do a little show. I want to catch up on Superior Optical.
All right, sounds
and
good.
all the things you do. And we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with Samantha Bignell right after a word from our sponsors.
Welcome back to Spotlight Gulf Coast. I'm Samantha Bignell with Keesler Federal Credit Union, and I have one of my favorite guests here with me today, and it's the chairman of our board for Keesler Federal Credit Union, Mr. Hollingsworth. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to see you.
Good to see you, and thank you for coming on with me. There is something huge going on at the credit union, and I just really wanted to find out from you what is something that we've been teasing is going to be happening now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really big deal for us. This is probably one of the biggest things that we've done in several years. We have our $1 million debt eraser. We are going to actually remove $1 million worth of debt that our members have from their credit card. This is a credit card program. So we're going to have a database that sorts through and comes out with a list of people that currently have credit cards that have where they owe, and we are going to pay it off up to $4,000 per person until we reach $1 million debt, the $1 million top end.
That's amazing. $1 million is a lot of money.
It is absolutely a lot of money. We're just so pumped up about being able to do this. The average credit card balance right now is about $6,500 for people nationwide. So this is going to make a pretty good dent for our Keesler members.
Right, and as your perspective as our chairman, what kind of a difference is this going to be making for our members?
Well, this is huge. I mean, prices are very high right now. Everything you do is expensive. We want people to live life their way, and we hope to bring some joy and some relief where that money that's being freed up, they can take a trip, they can go fill their shopping carts, and do the things that they've been longing to do, but weren't able to do because they've got this debt hanging over their heads.
Programs like this don't happen everywhere. What inspired our executive leadership to take such a big step with a huge give back like this for our membership?
Well, we're all about to give back, right? And so whether you're the board or the management team or anybody else, we're all focused on that. And our focus is on members being number one. So in being extraordinary, which we really believe we are, we looked at our financials and our balance sheet and we go, we're well capitalized right now, and we continue to be well capitalized. But so as a board and as a management team, we look at, they say, well, we have a balance, with this money that we do have. What do we do with it? And so we have generally two options. We either reinvest it in the credit union or we give it back to our members. So in this case, we decided to give back to our members in a big way with this $1 million give back. And we also have what we call our million reasons give back for this year in 2026. So this is the first of the $1 million give backs. There's more to come, but we won't talk about those right now. That's
exciting. And I know I personally love what we do with our give backs. It is the sole reason why I do so much that I do. But a lot of things with these give backs and other things at other places, there's tiny fine print that requires people to jump through hoops or do something. Is that something that people at Keesler Federal Credit Union have to do?
No, they don't. We have this farmer simple. You don't have to do anything, nothing at all. There's no strings. There's no surveys that you have to take. There's no fine print that you have to read. There's no signatures required. All you have to do is be a Keesler Federal member and use your credit card.
Now, how does this reflect Keesler Federal in our Live Your Way big campaign that we have going on?
Well, members are always first with us. So everything we do is to take care of our members. And we're trying to be, and we are, the big differentiator from other financials.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those, who does this? We say that a lot.
But
in reality, who does that?
Right?
Right, we do. So we don't talk about it a lot, but for example, in 2024, we don't have the stats for 2025 yet, but in 2024, we gave back $70 million in benefits back to our members. And there's a lot of things that went into that. So we had that $70 million. We have $8 million that we gave back to nonprofits throughout the year. We have, such a laundry list. We have our ticket program, our Tuesday ticket program. We gave $250,000 back to our members this past year, and it's for Saints tickets, Pelicans tickets, Shuckers tickets, LSU, and so it's just a laundry list of people that we give back to, and it goes on year round, and that's even separate from our 75 drawings that we have during the month for $1,000 on mortgage loans and so on. So we are different, and so It's why we keep doing it, because we love to do it. We love to give back to our members.
And that's one of my favorite things to tell people about is all the give backs that we get to do. When I'm out in the community, my favorite one's the 75 members each month, because you never truly know if your name's going to be drawn,
Right.
and your car payment could be paid. You know, you could get a $25 deposit in your account. There's so many things that we do for people just every day. Fast forward to March, when all of this is coming to fruition and you're making a phone call, what is kind of some of the things that you think are going to be in the minds of our members?
Well, I guess first of all they go, "Who's calling me?" So if you're aware of the program, then
Right.
that's a good thing. But certainly they'll be surprised. They'll have joy in it. They'll be like I said, very very excited. This is not recognition for us. This is about them. We want them to be able to live their lives, and we think that having this additional money that they can spend will be very beneficial, and they'll be really really happy to get it. So.
For somebody who's just now hearing about this initiative and maybe just hearing about Keesler Federal and our give backs, what is something that you want them to know about us?
Just that we are, no kidding, people helping people, and that we are local. I know that sometimes when you grow, people go, "Oh well, they're not local." Well, no, we've been local for 79 years,
Yes.
and we're going to stay local, and our mentality will always be, local, and we want them to understand that. We really are extraordinary. We really are different. I mean, we have that saying, who does that with regards to give backs, and Keesler does, but do you know of anyone else that does that?
I don't.
Yeah. So.
And I might be biased, but I don't. And that's what I tell people all the time. Building better communities is something that is hugely important to Keesler Federal. So, and I'm very thankful that it's important to our board of directors and our executive leadership, because it allows me to help the community and to do that. But this is such an exciting program, and I'm so thankful that you came on to talk to me about this, and so we can spread the word.
Well, thanks for having us. We want to continue to give. We always will. And again, we appreciate you having us on.
Thank you.